Hi, welcome back to my channel, The Coin Studio. Today, we're diving deep into the enigma of the 2000 Mule $1 coin, one of the most famous mint errors in modern American history. A coin that should never have existed, but somehow did. What is a mule coin? How did this error happen? And why is this particular coin so unbelievably valuable? Buckle up, because this is a numismatic tale like no other, full of mystery, minting mistakes, and the moment when a regular coin collector stumbled onto a piece of American minting history worth a small fortune. To understand why the 2000 Mule dollar is so fascinating, we first need to understand the term mule in numismatics. In everyday language, a mule is the offspring of a horse and a donkey, to animals that aren't supposed to breed. In coin collecting, the term is quite similar in concept. A mule coin is a coin struck with dies that were never meant to go together. Think of it like printing a book with the front cover of Harry Potter and the back cover of Moby Dick. It just doesn't make sense. Normally, every coin has a specific front called the obverse and a specific back called the reverse that are paired together during minting. But sometimes, due to a mistake at the mint, a coin ends up with the obverse of one denomination and the reverse of another. That's a mule coin. These errors are extremely rare, especially in modern coinage, where quality control is rigorous. And that's what makes them so highly prized by collectors. Most mules are one of a kind. Some are discovered decades after they were minted. But the 2000 Mule dollar, it was discovered just months after production, and its story spread like wildfire. The year was 2000. The US Mint had just launched the Sacagawea dollar, a gold-colored coin intended to replace the unpopular Susan B. Anthony dollar. The coin featured a beautiful depiction of the Shoshone guide Sacagawea on the obverse, designed by artist Glenna Goodacre, and a soaring eagle on the reverse. That summer, a coin collector in Arkansas made a startling discovery. As he was going through rolls of new Sacagawea dollars purchased from a local bank, he noticed something strange. One of the coins looked normal at first glance, but the edge was slightly different. The color was off, and the sound it made when dropped, it rang like a quarter, not a dollar. Upon closer inspection, he was stunned. The coin featured the obverse of a Washington quarter dated 2000, but the reverse was unmistakably the Sacagawea eagle, a Washington quarter front near and a Sacagawea dollar back. This wasn't a normal error. This was a mule. How could such a thing happen? The answer lies in the inner workings of the Philadelphia Mint, one of the primary US Mint facilities responsible for striking coins for circulation. In 2000, the Mint was striking both quarters and Sacagawea dollars. Somehow, the obverse die for a Washington quarter meant for use on a clad Cupro-nickel coin was accidentally paired with the reversed eye of a Sacagawea dollar, which was supposed to be used only with the manganese brass alloy. The result? A coin that shouldn't exist, a gold and dollar coin with a quarters obverse. What's more astonishing is that the two dies used were of completely different denominations and sizes. The Sacagawea dollar is slightly larger than the quarter, and the planchet, the blank discs, are made of different metals. Despite this, the Philadelphia Mint's presses managed to strike the coins in a way that preserved the details of both dies. The planchet used for the mule were Sacagawea dollar planchet, meaning these coins look and feel like Sacagawea dollars, but they carry the quarters head. Initially, it was thought to be a one-off mistake, but more coins began to surface, not from all over the country, but almost exclusively from bags of coins distributed by the Cheerios promotion and the Little Rock, Arkansas area. As of today, there are at least 19 confirmed specimens of the 2000 Mule dollar coin known to exist. Some experts estimate that a few dozen more may be out there, still sitting undiscovered in drawers, jars, or bank rolls. All confirmed examples are believed to have been struck at the Philadelphia Mint. They all share similar characteristics: a quarter obverse dated 2000, a Sacagawea reverse, and a golden-colored dollar coin kit. The rarity and clear-cut nature of the error has made it one of the most desirable modern era coins ever discovered. And the prices? Astronomical. When the first 2000 mule dollar went up for auction, it shocked the collecting world. Prices quickly climbed into the tens of thousands. In 2022, one of the finest known examples, graded Ms67 by PC, sold at auction for a staggering $144,000. Other specimens have sold for between $75,000 and $100,000, depending on grade and condition. These values put the 2000 mule dollar in the same league as legendary rarities like the 1909's VDB Lincoln cent or the 1913 Liberty Head nickel. And remember, these are ancient coins. They're just over 20 years old. That's what makes this so incredible. Any moment, at any moment, could stumble upon one in a forgotten bank roll or drawer. But you have to know what to look for. So how do you spot a 2000 mule dollar? First, check the obverse. If the coin has the head of George Washington, like a quarter instead of Sacagawea, that's your first sign. Second, look at the reverse. It should have the soaring eagle and United States of America and $1 inscriptions, the Sacagawea design. Third, check the coin's color and weight. Mule dollars were struck on Sacagawea planketess, so the color should be golden, not silver like a quarter. If all three signs are there, you may be holding a six-figure coin. And here's a tip: always check coins from the year 2000. Especially dollar coins you come across in old coin sets or forgotten bank rolls. It takes just a few seconds, and you never know. The 2000 mule $1 coin is a testament to how, even in a world of mass production, human error can still create something unique and priceless. It's a modern treasure forged by mistake, uncovered by chance, and now cemented in the halls of numismatic legend. Whether you're a seasoned collector or someone just learning about coins, the story of the mule dollar is a reminder of why this hobby is so thrilling. Every coin has a story. Some are ordinary, but a few are extraordinary. Keep your eyes open, because the next great discovery, it could be in your pocket. Next up, the 1987 Proof Mob of Ruse $1 mule, a coin that was never meant to exist. A coin born of a minting anomaly, and a coin so scarce that only 2 examples have ever been officially confirmed. This isn't just the tale of a coin, it's the tale of a national icon accidentally cast in gold and silver perfection. And for collectors around the world, it remains one of the holy grails of Australian numismatics. To understand why the 1987 Proof Mule is such an extraordinary rarity, we first need to understand the coin. It mimics the iconic Australian $1 Mob of Ruse. First introduced in 1984, the Mob of Ruse design by Stuart Devlin replaced the paper $1 note. Its reverse features 5 bounding kangaroos in dynamic motion, representing the wildlife and energy of Australia. It quickly became one of the most recognized coins in the nation. The obverse of the 1980 for $1, as with all decimal coinage of the era, featured the Queen Elizabeth the effigy, designed by Arnold Match and later replaced in 1985 by Raphael Maklouf's updated portrait. But the key detail for our story is this: while the Mob of Ruse design was used for circulating coins, the Royal Australian Mint produced special proof sets each year, stunning, mirror-like coins struck with precision for collectors. In 1987, proof coins were expected to have specially paired obverse and reverse dies. But in a rare twist of fate, a mistake occurred. And from this error, a numismatic legend was born. In the language of coin collecting, a mule is a coin struck with dies from 2 different types of coins, usually a mismatched obverse and reverse. These mistakes are not mere variations. They are categorical mismatches, the numismatic equivalent of putting a postage stamp on the wrong country's envelope. Mule errors are exceedingly rare, because mints take extreme care to match the correct dies to the correct blanks. When a mule does escape the mint's walls, it often becomes the centerpiece of major collections. And in Australia, there is no mule more famous or more mysterious than the 1987 Proof Mob of Roos. In 1987, the Royal Australian Mint prepared proof coin sets for collectors. As usual, the $1 coin in the set was expected to feature the Aboriginal elder design by Horst Hayne, used exclusively on circulating commemorative $1 proof coins at the time. But somehow where something went wrong. A small number of proof coins intended for collector sets were accidentally struck using the circulating mob of Roos reverse paired with the proof of first Ive Queenal Elizabethae. This wasn't just an unintentional pairing. It was a fundamental mix-up. The circulation reverse placed on a proof coin blank, using proof striking methods. The result was an extremely high-quality mob of Roos design never meant to exist in that condition. Worse, or perhaps better, this error escaped detection, and a handful of these coins were included in 1987 proofs sold to the public. And what makes this even more unusual, the Royal Mint has never fully acknowledged the error publicly. To this day, no official report explains how or why it happened. But collectors know one thing for certain: this coin isn't supposed to exist. And yet it does. The first known discovery of the 1987 Proof Mule occurred in the late 1990s, when an Australian collector noticed something strange while examining a proof set. The $1 coin featured the mob of Roos reverse, which was never issued in proof form that year. It wasn't a normal circulation coin. The coin had mirror fields, frosted devices, and sharp strikes, the hallmarks of a true proof coin. As word spread through numismatic circles, specialists examined the coin and confirmed what the collector had suspected. This was not a fake. This was a genuine, mint-issued proof coin with the wrong reverse. And thus the legend of the 1987 mob of Roos Proof Mule began. What truly sets this coin apart beyond the error itself is its unbelievable scarcity. To date, only 2 confirmed examples of the 1987 Proof Mob of Roos Mule have ever surfaced publicly. Just 2. Not 2,000. Not 200. 2. It's possible more exist, silently sitting inside old proof sets, unnoticed by collectors who simply assume it's the standard Aboriginal elder dollar design. But given the decades since its release, it's unlikely that more than a handful were ever produced. And so this coin has become the unicorn of Australian proof coins and mythic rarity, pursued by elite collectors, investors, and museums. With only 2 examples known, the value of the 1987 Proof Mule is not just a function of supply and demand, it's a reflection of its unparalleled uniqueness. In 2006, one example surfaced in a high-profile auction. The bidding was intense. Elite collectors, aware of the coin's legendary status, fought to add it to their collections. The final hammer price, over $20,000 odd at the time, a record for a modern Australian proof coin heir. Since then, the coin has only grown in fame and mystique. Experts estimate that if another example surfaced today, it could fetch between $30,000 and $50,000 odd, perhaps more, depending on condition and provenance. For comparison, the 2001 $1 mule with the double ring error, another famous Australian coin, is far more common, with hundreds known, yet even those trade for thousands of dollars. The 1987 Proof Mule? It's on another level entirely. So how do you know if you've got one of these elusive coins? Here's what to look for. 1. Date: the coin must be from a 1987 proof set. 2. Finish: the surfaces should be mirror-like, with frosted raised elements typical of proof strikes. 3. Reverse design: if the reverse features the mob of Roos, not the Aboriginal elder, you may be holding a mule. For strike quality, the coin should have full detail, sharp relief, and a polished feel. If you find one, Do not clean or alter it in any way. Get it professionally graded and authenticated immediately. It could be a once-in-a-time discovery. The 1987 Proof Mule is more than just a coin. It's a time capsule, a mistake, a mystery, and a masterpiece. It reminds us that even in the world of modern minting, where precision and automation rule the day, human error or fate can still produce something truly magical. For collectors, it is the ultimate prize. For the Royal Australian Mint, it is a moment of silent embarrassment, or perhaps secret pride, and for those lucky enough to own one, it is a tangible piece of history, struck in error, sealed in brilliance. Could another one be out there, waiting in an envelope and proof set, untouched for decades? Only time will tell. But one thing is certain: if you're hunting for Australia's rarest proof coin, this is the crown jewel. Next up, the 1990 to $1 coin without the C mint mark. A mysterious issue that never should have existed in circulation, and whose very existence sparks questions still debated by collectors today. The Australian $1 coin was introduced in 1984, replacing the paper $1 note. Designed by master goldsmith Stuart Devlin, its reverse side features 5 bounding kangaroos, affectionately known as the Mob of Roos. This iconic design became a staple of the Australian pocket, with millions struck annually for circulation by the Royal Australian Mint in Canberra. But in 1992, something unusual happened. That year, no regular circulating $1 coins were supposed to be issued. Instead, collector-only coins were struck in limited quantities to commemorate the coin's design and celebrate its continuing legacy. These coins featured a small but important marked C mint mark, which stood for Canberra, the location of the Royal Australian Mint. This mint mark distinguished them from earlier circulation issues and clearly indicated their status as non-circulating, legal tender, and sealed. In total, around 130,000 proven and circulated 1990 to $1 coins with the C mint mark were sold to collectors in official packaging. And that should have been the end of the story. But it wasn't. Somewhere, sometime after 1992, a few Australian coin collectors noticed something odd. A 1990 to $1 coin, but without the expected C mint mark. Could it be a fake, a damaged mint mark, a counterfeit? Closer inspection confirmed the shocking truth: the coin was genuinely struck in 1992, but with no mint mark at all. And more than one example was found. These weren't scratch coins with a worn-off C. These were genuine error coins struck using dies that completely lacked the intended mint mark. So how did they get out? And how many are there? According to the Royal Australian Mint's official records, no $1 coins were meant for circulation in 1992. The only coins produced that year should have had the C mint mark and been included in collector sets. So how did no mint mark versions of the 1990 to $1 coin find their way into public hands? There are 3 main theories. Theory 1: accidental release. Perhaps a small batch of coins intended for internal testing or production were struck without the mint mark and accidentally released into circulation. This could have happened during press setup or die testing, and somehow a few slipped past quality control. Theory 2: trial strikes or internal use. These no mint mark coins may have been trial pieces, test strikes not meant to leave the mint but were later released or exchanged, done intentionally. Theory 3: deliberate die variety or unauthorized strike. Some collectors believe these coins could have been struck on purpose, possibly even by mint workers using dies without the mint mark, either as a private experiment or under the radar. If so, they may have entered circulation without official sanction. No theory has ever been confirmed. The mint has never issued a formal statement on the origin or number of the no mint mark 1992 coins. Their silence only deepens the mystery. So, how do you know if your 1990 to $1 coin is one of these rare no mint mark anomalies? Here's what to look for. Date: the coin must clearly read 1992 on the obverse. Beneath quenelle is a Bethese portrait. Design: the reverse must feature the mob of Rouge design by Stuart Devlin. Finish: these are standard business strike coins, not proof, so expect normal when strike quality. Mint mark: the space below the kangaroos where the C mint mark should be is completely blank. Not worn away, not partially struck, just a missing. Authentication: because of the rarity and value. Genuine no mint mark coins should be professionally authenticated and graded by PCs, NGC, or Australia's AECs. Be cautious: some damaged coins or altered pieces might be passed off as no mint mark errors. But the real ones are distinct, and die struck that way from the start. So what's a 1990 to $1 coin without the mint mark worth? In circulated condition, verified examples can sell for $400 to $800 odd depending on appeal and where. In higher grades, values skyrocket. Uncirculated or near uncirculated specimens have fetched upwards of $1. Var was a 00Z or more at auction, especially when slab and certified by major grading services. But pricing is tricky because so few of these coins are known, and because of the ongoing debate about their origin. Values fluctuate based on collector demand, media exposure, and rarity perception. As of 2025, fewer than 50 confirmed examples have been publicly traded or authenticated, placing this coin among the rare modern Australian issues. The no mint mark 1990 to $1 coin remains one of modern Australian numismatics' most enduring mysteries. Was it a minting accident? An internal release? A rogue strike? We may never know. What we do know is that this tiny omission, the absence of a single C, has transformed this ordinary working dollar into a collector's treasure. It teaches us that even in modern mintage, perfection isn't always achieved, and when the unexpected happens, it can become legendary. And maybe, just maybe, another one is sitting in someone's change jar right now, waiting to be discovered. The 1990 to $1 coin without the C mint mark is more than an error. It's a story, a reminder that the smallest details can hold the greatest value. If you have a collection or even just a few old coins, take another look. You never know what you might find. Next up, a 1997 small head $1 coin. A coin whose mystery lies in the tiniest of details, and whose rarity has made it a modern marvel in Australian numismatics. To understand the 1997 small head dollar, we must first understand the standard $1 coin design used in Australia. Since 1984, Australia's circulating $1 coin has featured the beloved Rouge design, created by master goldsmith Stuart Devlin. The reverse shows a group of 5 bounding kangaroos, representing the vitality of the Australian outback. On the obverse or the front sits a regal portrait of Queen Elizabeth II. Over the years, several versions of the Queen's portrait have appeared on Australian coinage. These are known as effigies, and they change occasionally to reflect her age and image as monarch. In 1997, the standard effigy was still the 3rd official portrait of Her Majesty, created by Raphael MacLeod at used from 1985 until 1998. But in that same year, 1997, something unusual happened during the minting process that introduced a minor, almost imperceptible variation. The Queen's head appeared smaller on some coins, not because of wear, not because of damage, but because of a different die. The small head 1997 $1 coin is not a traditional mint error like a misstrike or off-center coin. It is a variety, meaning it was struck with a different die design than the standard version. Specifically, the burst I used on some 1997 coins was from an earlier or different master die, resulting in a smaller, slightly more recessed portrait of Queen Elizabeth II. Collectors soon began calling it the small head variety because the Queen's bust appears notably smaller in size and proportion compared to the standard 1997 issue. And while the difference is subtle, it's very real. When the small head variety is compared side with the regular coin, the distinctions become clear. The distance between the queen's crown and the rim of the coin is greater on the small head. The font of the lettering and spacing around the edge can appear different. The bust itself is less bold, almost appearing to be recessed or lightly struck, but it's not due to weak pressure. It's a different die. These visual cues tell us this wasn't a mistake. It was a deliberate use of a different die. Perhaps left over or M is assigned at the mint. So how did a different effigy end up on 1997 coins? The prevailing theory is this. The Royal Australian Mint, like other national mints, keeps multiple dies for different purposes including test strikes, commemorative issues, and replacements. At some point during the production of 1997 $1 coins, a replacement of burst I, possibly an older I matrix, was used to strike a limited batch of coins. This die featured a slightly smaller bust of the queen, perhaps because it was designed to accommodate a different coin size or production method. Whether this was an intentional use, an oversight, or a test batch released by mistake, we don't know for sure. What we do know is that only a small number of these coins exist in circulation. And they're not just rare, they're extremely desirable. Spotting the 1997 small head $1 coin requires a careful eye, and a side-by-side comparison is your best tool. Here's how to identify one. Step 1. Check the year. Look for a standard mob of Rarest reverse with a 1997 8. Step 2. Observe the obverse. Look at Queen Elizabeth's portrait. If it seems unusually small or recessed, you might be on to something. Step 3. Look at the crown and rim. On the small head version, there is significantly more space between the top of the queen's crown and the coin's edge. Step 4. Font and lettering. Some small head coins show slight differences in the size and spacing of the words Elizabeth E. and Australian 1997. Step 5. Confirm with a known standard. Compare it directly to a regular 1997 $1 coin. The difference in bust size is subtle but visible. Tip: use a magnifier or macro lens to inspect details. The difference becomes obvious under close inspection because of its rarity and intriguing backstory. The 1997 small head $1 coin is highly sought after by collectors, especially in higher grades. In circulated condition, these coins can fetch between $200 to $400 odd, depending on the sharpness of the details and overall wear. In uncirculated or mint-state condition, prices can soar up to $7,000 odd or more, especially if authenticated by a grading service like PCs or NGC. Even mid-grade examples, if verified, are worth far more than face value, making this one of the most valuable modern circulation strike $1 varieties in Australia. But more than just the money, it's the mystery, the hunt, and the subtlety of the error that make this coin so beloved in the numismatic community. If you want to find a 1997 small head dollar, here are a few tips. Search bulk lots. Coin dealers and online marketplaces often sell in sorted bulk lots of $1 coins. These are treasure troves for keen-eyed hunters. Study side-by-side images. Familiarize yourself with the differences by studying verified photos of the small head and regular head coins. Get professional help if you think you've found one. Consider having it authenticated by a reputable coin grading service. Invest smart because of the steady rise in interest in modern varieties. Verified small head dollars are a solid investment in the numismatic market. In the end, the story of the 1997 small head $1 coin reminds us that even in a world of mass production, human oversight, mechanical variation, and history converged to create something unique. A slightly smaller portrait, a simple swap of dies, and suddenly a coin becomes a mystery, a rarity, and a legend. It's a reminder to all collectors that sometimes value lies in the details we almost miss. The next time you're sorting through pocket change or flipping through a coin collection, you take a closer look. You just might be holding a small head with a big story. Next up, the 2014 anzac centenary $1 coin with the seam int mark. Issued in a collector's folder and cherished ever since. The Anzacs, the Australian and New Zealand Army Corps, hold a sacred place in the national consciousness. On the 25th of April 1915, they landed at Gallipoli in Turkey during World War I. It was a brutal campaign marked by loss and hardship, but also extraordinary bravery and camaraderie. The landing at Gallipoli would go on to symbolize the birth of Australian nationhood. And so, a century later, in 2014, the Royal Australian Mint released a commemorative coin to honor 100 years of Anzac spirit. This wasn't just any coin. It was a powerful statement of remembrance, one designed with reverence and made available in a way that made every Australian a part of the centenary. The 2014 Anzac Centenary $1 coin is a stunning example of how thoughtful design can elevate a small object into a powerful symbol. Designed by Aaron Baggio, one of Australia's most celebrated coin artists. A verse front. As standard, the coin bears the effigy of Queen Elizabeth II. Designed by Ian Rank Broadley, it reflects Australia's enduring ties to the Commonwealth. Reverse back. The reverse is where this coin tells its story. A single WWI digger stands solemnly. Rifle reversed, head bowed, a universal gesture of mourning. Behind him, stylized rays fan outward, reminiscent of both the rising sun badge and the dawn itself, nodding to the Anzac date on service. Above, the inscription reads, 100 years of Anzac the spirit lives. Below, proudly etched, the seam int mark, marking the coin's origin at the Canberra Mint. And in the digger's pose, and the coin's gentle golden hue, there's a sense of solemn respect. This coin isn't just currency, it's a miniature monument. While the coin itself is striking, it's the mint mark and folder release that truly sets this version apart. In 2014, the Royal Australian Mint issued several versions of the Anzac dollar, but the seam int mark coin and folder was the flagship collector's edition. What makes it unique? The seam int mark indicates it was struck at the Canberra Mint. It was not released into general circulation. It came sealed in an official commemorative folder, which featured historical information about the Anzacs, the Gallipoli campaign, and the design process of the coin itself. The packaging also made it ideal for gifting or for formal collection. Mintage, a relatively limited run, only 50,000 coins were produced with the seam int mark and folder, making it highly collectible. The folder edition also ensured that many of these coins were preserved in mint state, increasing their value and appeal in the years to come. So how do you know if you have the 2014 Anzac Centenary seam int mark coin in folder? Here's what to look for. 1. Reverse design. A solitary WWI digger in mourning pose, with radiating lines behind him and the words 100 years of Anzac the spirit lives. 2. Standard Ian Rank Broadley effigy of Queen Elizabeth II with the legend Elizabeth Anti-Australia 2014. 3. Mint mark. A clear C mark under the central design on the reverse representing Canberra. 4. Packaging. To complete, the coin should be housed in a dark green and gold-themed trifold folder with historical information and a clear plastic window displaying the coin. This folder is more than packaging, it's a part of the collectible item itself. Value in market trends. Since its release, the 2014 seam mint mark Anzac dollar in folder has consistently held strong value in the collector's market. Initial release price. The coin was sold for $10 odd directly from the mint in 2014. Current value $20.25, depending on condition and completeness of the folder. Mint condition, sealed in original folder for $100, $700 odd. Loose coin without folder $250 for $100 odd. Graded Miss 69 or hired $6,000 plus odd. Investment insight. Due to the low mintage, high preservation rate, and the coin's emotionally resonant theme, this coin has become a favorite among modern Australian commemorative collectors. Demand often spikes in April during Anzac commemorations, and again when coin anniversaries approach in 2029 and 2039. The coin is more than just collectible, it's a portable piece of Australian identity. It represents not just those who served in 1915, but every service member since. For veterans, families, historians, and patriots alike, this coin is a reminder that freedom has a cost, and that the spirit of Anzac lives on in the hearts of every Australian. From commemorative services to national pride, the 2014 coin stands as a quiet, enduring salute to the men and women who gave everything. Want to add the 2014 Anzac centenary mintmark coin to your collection? Here are a few expert tips. Buy with packaging. Original folders greatly increase the coin's resale and collectible value. Inspect for damage. Look for toning, oxidation, or scratches if buying secondhand. Store in a cool, dry place. Preserve the folder and coin away from moisture or direct sunlight. Check for authenticity. Be wary of loose coins sold without provenance. Some forgeries or misleading listings exist. Watch the market. Prices fluctuate, but the Anzac theme and low mintage keep demand high. This coin speaks not in words, but in legacy. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay updated on all things numismatic and historic. Thanks for watching and happy